So the pay-per-view comes on the air, and they recap the ambulance spot. And then they had a women's choir singing for Christian Cage, the heels. The heels again get the singers, and I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. And then we dance and the prance. And it's a musical smorgasbord. So, having said that, the opening match of this show was, in retrospect, the only thing that resembled a wrestling match up and down the card the whole 9 yards. It didn't get in its own way. You had clear heels and baby faces. You had an issue, even with in that group, even old Nick Plain looks like the flunky that he is, so that's fine. He fits. He had Flair at ringside, and Christian Cage is the smartest man in wrestling, I think, at this point, because he can go out there and have a safe match, at least for him and everybody he cares about. Darby's on his own. And it gets over and it makes sense, and it's a wrestling match, and there's star power in it. And they went on first so that the rest of these yahoos couldn't fucking kill the audience for them. And I think, and the crowd loved it because the baby faces are over. So I think this was the match. And Edge even did the thing where he painted his face like Sting and Darby, like Dusty used to do with the Road Warriors or whatever. Steve-O from Jackass was at ringside. Do you notice WWE gets the celebrities and AEW gets the jackasses?
Did you hear what Steve-O said at the end of the pay-per-view?
I did not.
This event was the most painful thing I've ever done.
I'm not surprised, because mental anguish is even worse than physical excruciality. So, that Sting did a little bit, but not, he didn't kill himself or anything like he shouldn't. Cage stayed away from Edge as much as possible. They put the fucking lizard size over. Darby Allin will take any kind of bump, so we excuse him from, doing stupid shit, but, and they kept it moving. And then, finally, at one point, Darby made an ice cold tag to Edge, but people popped because it was Edge. And everybody did all their shit. And then Flair and Cage got in a fight at ringside, and Cage nut-shotted Flair and tried to hit Edge with the belt, but he hit the lizard instead. And Edge chased Christian out of the fucking picture, and the baby faces gave their finishes to Dino, and Edge pinned him 1, 2, 3. Again, it made sense, and Cage comes away as the most unharmed heel on this program because he was neither cheered nor made to look like a complete fucking buffoon. But your thoughts?
I thought it was actually a really fun match, and I agree with you. It was a good way to open the show, and even Flair, I thought he was pretty good at ringside. The only biggest problem with Flair, beyond, the rapiness and the bad energy drink and all that, it's so upsetting the way he dresses now. I thought he would be a stylish old man.
Yeah, Bockwinkel, right?
Bockwinkel, even Buddy Rogers, casual, stylish.
Yeah. The no tie necessarily, but the colored handkerchief hanging out of the bold blazer.
No, now it's like Groucho coming out with the hat with the fuzzy golf balls on it.
But Groucho, you have 3 balls.
Yeah, Groucho, why are you wearing tie-dye? No, that's the only problem. I thought it was a fun match.
And also, he's an inexperienced manager. He stood all night in the neutral corner.
Is it hard to be a manager if you're used to being the center of attention and not getting yourself over, but being over and everything you do gets a reaction? If you put that person at ringside, is it a hard thing to do to not take away from the match?
Well, I don't know, because I've always been in the other category, but I think it must be, because I see a lot of people struggling with it. And it's a different thing. It's like, refereeing is a completely different thing. Positioning and things you should do and shouldn't do. And so it's all different things. And as we've seen, sometimes not all great wrestlers make great managers, or, great promos don't necessarily make great announcers, or whatever the case. But nevertheless,
But he never walked into Michael's at Kansas City and said, "Give me the psychedelic cow."
no, Chick-fil-A on fucking LSD. Yeah, the Bonanza pattern, please, but in pastels. I don't know what might have happened. But hey,
styling and woo, ignoring all the mirrors.
There was at one point he might be wearing a shroud at this time, so let him wear what he wants, for heaven's sake.
The Shroud of Flair coming soon to Torino, North Carolina.
We're just amusing ourselves now because those are such deep cuts. Anyway, maybe somebody will cut a piece of one of Flair's suits off and analyze it to see if it's legitimate.